If you want to take on the most popular gaming mouse in the entire world, you better bring your glorious game. And that's exactly what Glorious hopes to be doing. This is the Model I gaming mouse, which is the direct competitor to the 502 and also the Razer Basilisk. I'm really excited to see this mouse. It is spec-wise better than the 502. I think Glorious construction quality is quite high. If you guys don't know who they are, they're the makers of boxes that are hard to open. Oh yeah. I'm actually very excited to see what this mouse is all about. I think more Glorious has been on quite a good stretch of making very exciting mice, especially their wireless mice. They've made them very light. They're honeycomb, which isn't my favorite thing, but the build quality's been good. They've looked good. The durability apparently has been quite excellent. So let's unbox this bad boy. So right off the bat, this plastic quality is not bad. It feels like slightly cheap. It feels like Razer quality, you know? It's light. It's definitely noticeably lighter than I remember the 502 being. I'm gonna save the direct comparisons for a little bit later. The shape is excellent. This is a mouse shape that I think there's a reason why it's so popular. It fits really well into a right hand. It used to be a mouse that I really liked, but I kind of like my thumb to touch the table just to have a little more kind of awareness of how fast I'm moving. But for productivity, and I think for most gamers, this is still just such a classic, comfortable shape. The scroll wheel, I will say, feels pretty far forward. Like if you were a claw person, you're gonna have a little bit of trouble getting to that scroll wheel. Other buttons on this mouse, there's a DPI and now a DPI down button. So they've increased that from 1 button to 2 buttons, which is nice. It's like a nice to have, not a must have, because there's only usually like 5 settings that you're scrolling through anyway. On the side, they have more buttons. More is always better, right? And 2 of them are replaceable. I'm not sure exactly how that works. They included buttons that we'll kind of get to over there. On the bottom, we have the PTFE Premium G skates. I like that they come with a little sticker on them because then you know they're not damaged. They're fresh, baby. So overall shape, excellent. Build quality feels good. It feels strong. Like I'm squeezing it really hard. I don't feel that much give. The clickiness feels good. It's the Glorious switches that are made in collaboration with Kale. They're rated for 80 million clicks, which on paper seems 30 million clicks better than most switches, especially the ones on the Logitech, the ones that have a bad reputation. So what we're gonna do for the rest of the video is we're gonna count to 80 million. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got that paracord. It feels good. It's got that kind of like loosey feel, so it doesn't feel like it would get snagged on stuff. Oh, that's real long. 2-meter cable. That's plenty long, and it's a good quality cable. It's not like the nicest one I've ever felt. It's kind of like a little bunchy in some spots, but that's fine. You can fix that. Okay, so in the actual box, the top is cardboard, plastic. Then there's another plastic cover that comes off, and then you have a little bit of documentation. We have the quick start guide, and I'm guessing probably warranty info. Safety. Everyone knows those mice are real dangerous. And then you have some of the swappable buttons. And the sticker, cool. Woo! Sticker! Frown, 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 frown. So we got all these side buttons. Okay, so we have all these swappable side buttons, and apparently all of them are swappable, which is pretty cool. No? Boy, I definitely scratched it. It really was just a magnet. Oh man, I didn't believe them, okay? Magnets are expensive. It's really friggin' magnetic though. What's wrong with me? It wasn't supposed to be like this. It was supposed to be easy, David.
At least you know when you're gaming it's not gonna come up.
That's a good point. It would be annoying if they were really loosey-goosey magnets and like anytime you like lifted and pulled, it was in danger of just flying off. Okay, someone should come and try and take it off and see if it's really easy. I'm just that dumb.
Maybe this one doesn't come out.
I think it said all 6. Wait, no, but it said 6. Oh, it's 6 replaceable buttons. Only 2 of them. Only 2 of them are. Okay. That's really confusing, to be honest. Yeah, so.
I got it.
Nice, you're amazing, Jono. To clarify, there's 2 buttons on the mouse that are swappable, but they include 6 replaceable buttons. That makes sense, there's only 4. 6, David. Numbers. Okay. The difference is, at least on the top ones, is just how far the buttons will stick out from the mouse. So there's like the the smallest one to the tallest one. I'm guessing that's a comfort thing. So on the bigger buttons, it looks like it's kind of the same thing, just 2 different sized buttons, different shapes, and then a cover. The G502 is not quite as customizable. It's more software programmable. It has lots of buttons on it. To be honest though, Jono, I'm not 100% sure. It's been a little while since I've used a 502 on the regular. So why don't we unbox it and do a pretty much direct comparison. Okay, so immediately you can see that they're pretty similar, although they are more different than I had in my head. The G502 feels a little more narrow. So there's less like volume here, and your fourth finger and your pinky finger kind of squeeze a little bit tighter. I don't know if one's better or worse. I think it's just a comfort thing. I much prefer closed shells to these honeycomb design, but the sacrifice when you compare the 2 mice, wow, the weight is wild. The Glorious mouse is 69 grams. They say there's a variance of like 1 or 2 grams. We're seeing 72 grams. I think if I moved it a bit, move the cable off. 71, it's not so nice. 127, that is significantly more. Not quite double, but we're approaching double the weight. So the weight difference is already quite extensive. And before you comment with your, I like heavy mice things, great, I'm glad you do. I don't. I think if you're very competitive in a shooters, and you would see that with most esports pros, it's a lot easier to be consistent on flicks and moves with a lighter mouse. Also, fatigue is a real thing. Repetitive strain injuries with lighter mice are less severe. You're not moving as much around, but for us less intense people, the weight's not a huge difference. Like if a pro had a 502 and you had a G Pro X Superlight, they're still gonna beat you. Glorious has had some really enticing mice that have caught my eye. And this might be a really good mouse for streaming, my streaming computer, although I much prefer wireless mice. That being said, they said they are looking into maybe doing a wireless variant of this mouse, although that's to be determined, so they have made no promises. But again, like I said, this is the most popular mouse in the world for a reason. It is a comfortable mouse, although I will say I think that this Model I is slightly more comfortable. There's 11 buttons, so there's 2 on the side, like where the 3 would be over here. They have a DPI switch, the lock, and then the 2 main buttons as well as the scroll wheel button. So it's pretty similar in terms of buttons. They really looked at the 502 and were like, we're gonna copy that homework and make it just different enough that people don't get mad. Let's look at the colors and then we can plug it in and try it. There's a sticky note on this one, so I'm guessing this is the one that is the production models. These might have been engineering samples. So I'll actually, when we do the testing, I'll do this one. Oh, interesting. Surprisingly, all the buttons are still black on the white variant of the mouse. So if you're into kind of a more poppy white and black aesthetic, not just white RGB look, this could be a good thing for you. Let me check if the buttons are black. Yeah, the buttons they include are also black. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I think that was a mistake. We'll see when the RGB is on. You can see there's an RGB light strip here. Maybe it'll like make it pop more, but I think it makes it look cheaper than the black variant. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below. I'm reading them now. Huh. Yeah. Click this link, I'm there for real. I'm gonna switch the buttons on the white one because that's the production model for the testing. But the other thing that's included is the Glorious grip tape. This, I probably wouldn't use on most mice, but I'm kind of considering seeing how it feels on this one to see if I cover up the honeycomb, how that would feel. Oh, that was the worst. Okay, all right. That's not what I expected at all. You can see that it sort of has a carbon fiber look, but it's a jelly silicone feel. It is interesting. I'm gonna put it just on the back because I wanna see what it feels like when the honeycomb is covered up. Surprisingly, I don't hate it. I thought I would absolutely despise this. I'm gonna finish putting everything on it. I have to say, I kinda like it. It gives the whole thing a slightly like rubbery feel. It's not ideal, but it does feel better than kind of like a crappy textured plastic. I like it better than what was on there, and I certainly like it better than the honeycomb shape. All right, let's plug this bad boy in and see how it performs right after I tell you about our sponsor, Govee. Govee's Glide Hexalite panels can display 6 colors each at one time, allowing for beautiful color combos and effects thanks to their RGB IC technology, an enhancement from normal RGB. The kit includes 10 panels and can be assorted into different shapes and patterns. Keep your gaming sessions and parties vibrant and well lit with reactive music modes. They also offer hands-free voice control through Alexa and Google Assistant, so you can focus on the task at hand while changing it up on the fly. Click on the link in the video description to get your Govee Hexalites today. Okay, we have the glorious Core software installed, and so let's take a little bit of time and see what we can customize. Oh wow, that RGB looks pretty good. We've got the light strips on the side. Then the mouse wheel has 2 sides of RGB. That looks pretty decent. I still don't like the black buttons against it, but that is quite RGB, and the fact that I can see it so well in studio lights means that I could probably really see it in a dark room. It shows up, there it is. It's the wrong color. This is beta software, so I'm not gonna worry too much about that. You can import, export profiles. You can change our lighting, seamless breathing. We got all the different kinds of RGB modes. Key binding, left button, right button, DPI, stage up, stage down. I actually wonder, for me, the competitive game I played the most was Rainbow Six. So I actually switched my DPI switch button to be my middle click because I didn't like having to bring my button up there. And on this mouse, because the scroll wheel is so far forward, I actually might make these a middle click. So let's see how I can do that. I can't. Oh wait, no I can, thank goodness. We can see on the side, scroll click, sure, DPI lock. I do not want that, especially now that I don't have a DPI button. I generally make that my back button, and as I've lost my back button, let's do that. So while we're here, we can talk about the BAMF sensor that is Glorious's first collaboration with Pixart. So this is gonna be a flawless sensor, 19,000 DPI, although that level of sensitivity is not what you want. I set mine down at 800. Most people kind of around 1600, 3200. But it should be flawless. There's no lift-off sensors that are included in that, but it should be fine. I have a feeling this is gonna be an excellent mousing experience. It's certainly very smooth with the PTFE feet. The polling rate is 1000 Hertz. That's pretty standard. There is higher polling rate wired mice, but that definitely hasn't become the norm yet, and it's still kind of a novelty item. Also, let's check out the performance tab. Oh, that's cool. So as you can see on the bottom, you can set the DPI stage to a color. I think that's actually a pretty good system. Instead of having like 4 LEDs that show you which stage you've selected, it's a color. That's really smart. But I'm pretty confident, pretty ready to go. Feeling good, feeling pretty. So let's take this into AimLab and see how it feels. It's me from the future, and I have a message. Recording screen capture on a laptop sometimes don't work, and so we're gonna do it again, where I play AimLabs, but on a better computer, and hopefully we don't have any issues. Right away, this feels pretty friggin' smooth. Oh, it feels like I could probably flick fairly consistency once I practiced and dialed in my settings. Yeah, the glide pads feel really good. The weight feels good. The shape feels decent. Like I said earlier, really earlier now that we've time traveled, I like to have my thumb on the table, but that's okay. This isn't like my preferred mouse shape, but I could definitely get used to this, and I could definitely get decent with it. The one caveat is always the mouse cord. Even there, I could feel it. It's not a big deal if you have a bungee, you can sort of figure it out, but who wants a bungee when you can skydive? You liked my other joke, the previous joke I made in the past? Editor, roll the previous joke. I probably could bungee it, but I don't play Destiny. Who needs bungee? Yeah, I am very pleased with the performance of this mouse. As I lift off, as I move it, it feels really solid. I think the clicks feel excellent. Overall, this is I'm having a very positive experience. Let's see if that holds up. It's still a good mouse, but it's also like, can you hear that? It's because it's heavy. It's the mouse, that's the mouse wheel, I think, just going against itself. I don't have enough time to really test the sensor, see if it's like one's better than the other, but on paper, they're very similar. They're both flawless sensors. So I am having a hard time seeing why you would want a 502. Yeah, the 502 is still a good mouse. I don't like that jiggle, I don't like the weight, but other than that, it's still good. I think the button placement and size, I might like a little bit better on the 502 than on the Model I. But for my concluding thoughts, let me go back to the past. There's a lot of reasons to be really excited about the Model I, including the fact that it's $10 cheaper than a 502. 502 not on sale is 80 bucks. The Model I is $69. Nice. Oh, $59. What? That's actually a really good deal. This is an incredible value. At $59, this is an excellent gaming mouse. If you are someone that is fine with a cable and that's your budget, this you could do much worse. Is this a mouse that I'm gonna switch to? Probably not. I am a huge believer in wireless mice just because the cable is just a little bit of a handicap. It slows you down, it can get caught in stuff, and it makes it just like a little bit less of a good experience. And if Glorious made a wireless variant, it would be an even better option. I would check them out at the link below if you are interested. It's a good mouse. So thank you for watching this short circuit. If you want to watch more mouse unboxings, there's lots to go through. I would recommend the G Pro X Superlight. That is the gold standard. Other than that, farewell, goodbye, auf Wiedersehen, good night.